I'm not here as a councilman, I'm here to represent my neighbors. Okay, and by the way, you're absolutely right. We have a series of canals down in the old part of Orange. The main ones run down into Rose Bay. On one side of US 1 is one that's been totally neglected, and that's leading to a considerable amount of flooding, and probably causing flooding as far as Dunwall. All along there, if you go down there and look, it's all filled in now, which is one of the problems. So somehow, it was allowed over the last 20 or 30 years for that to be filled in. It's still being filled in, and it is a mess down there. It needs to be cleaned up. The areas never flooded until all this started, and everyone was asleep at the switch. On the other side of US 1, in there in the river, our infrastructure is in total collapse. All the pipes are either rusted or dying. If you walk along the street, you'll see depressions. Okay, that needs to be fixed. That is routine maintenance that wasn't done for the last 30 years. Okay, and at the end of every pipe in Port Orange should be a valve that stops inflow from the ocean. Okay, it was supposed to be put in when Halifax Drive was redone for the sewer plant, for the sewer lines. Never was put in, left off. I saw it on the plans when they did it, and the plans were never followed. Okay? Flow preventers, they're called. You're absolutely right about the Halifax Canal until we get control. And by the way, there is plenty we can do. We could have put a berm in. It needs to be burned, and it needs to be burned from as it comes into the city all the way up. Now, at some point, we need to do something, and this is where it gets really expensive. As it gets past the post office, we can berm up there. After there, we have to widen it significantly, and that's got a lot of problems because we've got to go under roads and everything else. So there's a lot we need to do down there to do it. We need to get started on it. What I'm saying about this meeting, and I apologize on behalf of me, I've been screaming and yelling, but what happens is we sound like we're back at zero again. We should be much further ahead than we are now. I'm disgusted. But there's so much we need to do, and a lot of it can be done right now in small little bites, and we're not doing small little bites.
Put it on the list.
Anyway,
Get it
all my
done.
neighbors, put on the list
Get it done.
the pipes out to the river, the natural drains, they're collapsing. We need to also, we're probably going to have to put some additional, and should be talking about, it's expensive, but within our purview, some additional cuts across US 1 so we can get better drainage on the other side. There's an oval on the other side, on the west side of US 1. We've got to get the water out. We got to get the natural canal system that used to run between Halifax Drive and US 1. That's what my neighbors were here to complain. You know, we have mosquito heaven here. I hate to hear if Zika gets here, we'll be a key problem area because we have a swamp back there. You should have heard the frogs this morning.
I hear them every night.
So we got to do it. The other thing is, what is it called? McDaniel's. What is the one by the Chamber of Commerce?
Dougherty.
Dougherty Canal. The Dougherty Canal is a key function and could help your neighborhood and all the rest because we have not been innovative with that. The Dougherty Canal needs to be addressed. It's really blocked up. It's a mess. So there's a lot to be done, and we need to be about doing it. And you know, and I hope our new engineer will go to work. It's not complex. It's hard because it's a lot needs to be done. And we also need to do one thing. We have a drainage fund. We need to make sure our drainage monies only go for drainage. In the past, that was not always true.
Do it.
does.
So,
What he says.
so there's a lot, we know a lot, we know where the problems are. We have a engineering firm put in Hampton, they know where all the problems are. I have lots of fights with them at times because they like megalithic solving. I say, if it costs more than 20 million, we ain't gonna be able to do it right away, but there's a lot of $100,000, $200,000, $250,000, $300,000 projects that can make a big difference. Because a lot of you are only a couple of inches. So we gotta take a look at that and we gotta get going.
Right. I think we got a lot of things. We got putting cuts through to US 1, getting water from east to west. We got Doherty Canal. We got funding expenditures correctly. We got backflow preventers, looking at the ditches that have been, and canals that have been filled in, renewing infrastructure, preventing infrastructure that's crumbling.
Let me throw another one, Burns. I happened to did a lot of work after I retired as police chief in Rome. You should see their burn structures. Now, some of them were built improperly, like, if you know New Orleans, almost everything is built improperly there. But if built properly, burns work well. And there's some problems we have with that canal, that if we can't get the volume coming into the city down, we're going to have to raise it a little to get it by certain of our areas of the city so they don't flood automatically, and then have backflow preventers all along so that the water doesn't flow out of the canal into the neighborhoods when it's too hot. So take a look at Burma. I don't care, but for some reason we're Burma averse. Their neighborhood, which is down on Root Street, will never not flood when the Halifax Canal comes over the top. There's nothing we can do to stop that, other than raise the whole neighborhood by about 10 feet, which is a little expensive.
Yeah, that was my original idea.
Right. So that can be half of my neighbors.
We've got about 5 minutes left before I want to go to the next section. So if you've got quick things you want to throw out that you've been